an hour. So, I'd just like to start off with a quick survey. Who here has posted on social media in the last year? Any form of social media? Just hands up. Pretty much everyone. How about the last month? Still quite a lot. Who's posted on social media today? Still a surprising amount. The most memorable social media experience that I've had happened about a year and a half, 2 years ago. It was about 8 AM at my sixth form, just really chatting with some friends, past the time before school starts for the day. Out of the corner of my eye, I just noticed that a group of 6 or 7 people on the opposite side of the room just really begun to stare at me. And so I turned round and met what only could be described as a very intense gaze. And one of them mouthed the words to me, "What's going on?" Got to say, this was quite an unnerving way to start a Wednesday morning, but I rolled along with it. I got a text from one of them, because they were only on the opposite side of the room. They didn't actually have to walk over and speak their thoughts to me. And it just said, "Why did you unfollow me on Instagram?" And that's when it hit me. Today was the day that my Instagram account finally got deleted. Now, one thing you should know about deleting Instagram is that when you do go to delete it, when you go to delete your account, you don't actually delete your account. Sounds a bit confusing. For me, it was. You go through this whole process of, are you sure you want to delete your account? Are you sure? You really sure you want to be off this social media platform forever? And you say, yes, I do. And then you don't get deleted. What happens is, if you manage to stay off your account for a month, then your account will get deleted. If you go on it for the next month, it won't. And you have to start the whole process over and over again. So I managed to stay off my account for a month after it got deleted, and it turned out that this was the morning that my account was gone forever. It also turned out that these 6 or 7 people on the other side of the room to me had an app on their phones that told them when someone unfollowed them on Instagram. And so it all came up at the same time for the 6 or 7 people. Callum Dineen has unfollowed you on Instagram. And they lost their minds. They genuinely couldn't believe it, as many people haven't been able to believe since, or even understand why I would delete Instagram or stop posting on social media in general. And for me, this app, this obsession with how many followers you have, this obsession with likes, how many people are seeing what you're posting, it's really symptomatic of this entire social media culture that we currently live in. And for me, this is the main reason why I deleted Instagram, why I stopped posting on social media. It can be summed up in one sentence. And that is, we don't need the approval of others. We don't need the approval of an online audience. Now, social media is a funny thing, and it is a funny thing that I hate. Makes me a very weird 19-year-old, I know, in that I don't spend every waking moment Snapchatting what's going on for my friends to see instantly. I don't spend ages taking the perfect selfie, flicking through the filters, flicking through how I want myself to look. When I'm on holiday, I don't even spend ages just crouched down on the floor, taking the perfect photo of a landmark that my Instagram followers can see later. But this speech is called to post or not to post. So there is some doubt here. But I'll get onto that in a minute. First, I'd really like to take you through the past and present of my social media experience, and hopefully get you to think about posting a little bit less. So, has my life benefited from deleting social media? Yes. Yes, it really has. That's the short answer to that question. I'm a lot less self-conscious than I was 2 years ago. I care a lot less what people think about me. This is because I'm not trying to gain the approval of others. I'm not trying to jivvy my way into people's minds. But I feel that not everyone who posts on social media is like this, does care about the approval of others, does care what people think of them, is self-conscious. But we all know those people, I know I definitely do, who get no less than despondent when a post they put up online doesn't get enough likes. They may spend absolutely ages taking the perfect Snapchats, really focusing on what they're wearing, focusing on their body position, focusing on their background, focusing on their facial features, really cultivating a perfect image, a Cinemax version of themselves to put out online for the approval of others. And when that version of themselves that they feel is how they should look, is how they should be, doesn't get enough likes, doesn't get enough approval, can really have quite disastrous consequences. People can become quite sad. I also feel that the consumption of these posts is quite dangerous as well. I often think back to my secondary school years and all the online Twitter feuds that would have been started. You'd often hear about an indirect tweet being sent about someone else. You go, oh, do you hear what he posted about her? And she said this about them, and he said that about her. And then they got involved with that, and he said this, and she said that. And oh my God, the beef. It was genuinely exhausting. It was judgmental, but it was entertainment. It was judgmental, but it was entertainment. And more importantly, it was the talk of the town the next day in school. And when I deleted this from my life, I felt like I didn't miss it. I didn't miss this human cockfighting. I didn't miss sitting on my bed at night with a bowl of popcorn, gorging myself on the drama in the lives of others, drama that was being played out for all to see. And this drama doesn't just happen in our very small circles in terms of friendship groups or schools, but we often see it in celebrity culture. Piers Morgan versus Gary Lineker every single day on Twitter. And these type of online arguments, it's a more desperate form of approval that I feel is being sought out, a darker form of approval. So you may be there sitting there thinking, well, Callum, where's the doubt? Where is the to post or not to post in this speech? And you'd be right, I have sounded quite scathing of social media over the last 5 or so minutes, but the doubt comes in the future. We've had the past, we've had the present, now comes the future. Now, some of you may be thinking that I'm a little young to be starting to think about a job or what I want to do with my life, but the fact remains that my digital footprint will have been tracked from the day that I created a social media account to the present, whenever that may be. If I'm up for a job against one other person, say, and an employer decides to look at my social media afterwards to see if I'm the sort of person they would want to work with, they would struggle to find anything past the year 2016 at this point. I'm a blank slate. I'm an unknown. And to an employer, that may mean that I'm also untrustworthy. It may be worrying, especially if the person I'm up against posts about the amazing things they do, all the skydiving, volunteering, climbing, adopting orphan kids from Mongolia. No matter what I do in real life, if I don't post about it on social media, I'm already one step behind in this race for a job. But what does this mean for now? Well, I don't really have any plans to start posting back again on social media. I'm living my life how it is, and my personal happiness is at a level that it really has never been at before. But who knows? In 2 years, I may decide to come back into it all. And actually, by disappearing for a while, I give myself the chance to re-emerge, to sort of pounce out of the jungle. That'd be the coolest thing I can do with it. But in the here and now, I truly believe that we're in the business of living. And if you spend your life posting on social media, seeking out the approval of others, I don't feel that we can truly be living. Thank you.